Alright, so something came in the mail recently, and I have been requested to do an entire review dedicated to it, and I will happily oblige. So, I'm sure that most of you have seen those two videos on, what was it, the Pac-Man MyArcade handheld, and the Galaga MyArcade handheld. The first one was meant to be a proper demo showcase video thing, while the second one with the Galaga handheld, that was actually a joke. That was a reference to the Avengers. I'm not sure if you've seen that scene where, I forget which character, but he's caught playing Galaga until he started comments on the matter. But anyway, this video is going to be a proper showcase. It's probably going to be a very long video because of how many games are on it. A video of the MyArcade Pocket Player Atari 50th Anniversary Edition. Yeah, that rolls off the tongue very well, doesn't it? Joking aside, though, this is probably one of, if not arguably, the most fascinating ones I have in my collection so far. But I thought I'd do proper comparison to the Pac-Man MyArcade handheld. I'm already noticing, well, in terms of weight, you're not going to be able to actually see, but I can at least describe it. A lot lighter, most likely because AAAs and AA's. I'm guessing they chose AA's because there's a lot more games, but at the same time, I know that, from what I remember at least, Atari games don't exactly take up that much space, but I'm guessing probably because of how many are on there. But anyway, at the very top, not a lot going on here, like, at all. By the way, that's volume and that's the power on off switch. But as for this guy, power on off switch, brightness, difficulty, home, and there is the volume switch. This one actually does have something unique when you first boot it up. Just turn up the volume, by the way. Yeah, it has like a little intro thingy. It shows off the company's logo. Before I get to the featured games, as they're calling them, we kind of have to talk about the elephants in the room. The quote-unquote bonus games, because... yeah, I have no idea what these are doing in here. Because they're clearly not Atari games. Not at all. And in this game's case, you see that? Doesn't it look familiar to you? Yeah, it's totally a Castlevania ripoff. And let me tell you, got plenty of stuff like that in here. And I have no idea what any of this is doing in here, like I said. Like, that's just kind of stupid. Anyway, on to the actual Atari content. What everyone, I'm sure, came here to see. I just wanted to showcase how weird that was that those are in there. Those basically clone games or whatever. Thankfully, there's a lot of actual Atari content in here. You can scroll section by section by pressing left and right, which is really cool. What should I play first, or at least try to play? Because a lot of these games I'm not very good at. Could try and play Breakout. That's the thing with Breakout in general. The paddle moves too fast, and I don't think you can adjust how fast or slow it moves. In case anyone wants to know my feelings or whatever on the controls in general as they stand, it's fine. Like, I know one of my friends in Discord thought that the D-pad, or maybe you could call it a circle pad. No, not like a 3DS. You know what I mean? Would be kind of hard to control, but no, it's very, very responsive. It's just more or less, can you get used to that kind of D-pad? It does take some getting used to. Believe you me, it does take some getting used to, especially if you've played things like a lot of Nintendo handhelds that have actual D-pads. As for the A and B buttons, by the way, they're fine. My only real issue is that, for whatever reason, tends to register as 2 clicks sometimes. Like whenever I do a confirmation whenever I press A as a confirmation button, it tends to register as if I'm selecting a game, and I'm not entirely sure as to why that is. Very strange. What should I play? So many options! Play Centipede? Sure. Curse you! That's the range you're calling for. Yeah, that thing sucks. That thing really sucks. No. Also, before I go back to the home menu, I'm spacing on her name at the moment, but did you know that Centipede was invented by a woman? Fun fact for you. Again, I'm spacing on her name at the moment. Let's see. Whatever game should I try? Hangman, perhaps? Let me try that. Sorry if there's not anything interesting going on. Remember, Atari games don't have music. That's wrong. Let's see if I can find a right answer. That's a right answer. That's also wrong. I can't think what it should be. Duh, I really should have known that to begin with. But that's what it was. I'm not gonna bore you by going through that multiple times. Let's see. Sorry for not talking that much. Again, remember, there's no music, so... I know what game I'm looking for, I just have to find it. guess I could commentate in the meantime. Again, very awesome build quality, very responsive buttons, really awesome device in general. I recommend it to any Atari nerd or any retro gaming nerd in general. It's very, very high quality. Oh, there it is. I completely missed it the first time around. For some reason. I think I'll do this a few times and then I'll wrap up the video. I promise. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are getting bored by this because, you know, once again, the lack of music. I mean, if there's anything else I could really commentate on, it's the emulation, which I'm pretty sure it is using an emulator to run these games. It's fine. It's fine. It's acceptable. These aren't exactly complicated games. So I'm pretty sure it was easy for an emulator to, well, once again, emulate them. So, yeah. In closing, like I said, absolutely amazing handheld. I know I've said that multiple times. I'm not running out of things to say. I just have to emphasize that point. And it's really, really awesome that such a small handheld can handle 100 games on the go. Like, that is awesome. That is really, really cool. Because typically with these kinds of handhelds, you get like, oh, 10 in 1, 15 in 1, 20 in 1, etc. But no, 100 games on the go. Yeah, sign me up. Speaking of these things and handling more than one game, take, for example, Pac-Man. This actually has, I don't think I showcased that in the original video, Pac-Pan, which is actually what Pac-Attack is known what Pac-Attack is known as over in Europe, in PAL regions, and Pac-Mania. They actually do tell you what the buttons do, which is really nice. But there are other MyArcade Pocket players that have more than one game on them as well. Miss Pac-Man has obviously Miss Pac-Man, but I think it has Mappy and one other game, whatever that other game is. I'm spacing on because I don't have that one yet. There's a Contra one. I think it has Contra and Super C. I don't think it has Super Contra, though. I can't remember. Saved my life. But more interestingly, there is a Mega Man version that has all 6 of the original NES Mega Man games in one handheld. That's also a big deal, especially because I know there are some huge Mega Man nerds out there. As a matter of fact, one of the people that requested that I do this video is a hardcore Mega Man fan. You know who you are if you're watching this video. This is for you, and also for my other friend that requested that I did this video, and also, obviously, for anyone else who's interested in watching this. But, yeah. If there is one more interesting detail about the MyArcade Pocket players in general that I have to point out, back to Pac-Man once again. This is actually, strangely enough, this is the revised version. I say strangely enough because the initial 2018 version, okay, first of all, these were not there at all. And also the screen was taller. It was more vertical, not horizontal like this. That seems to be like the typical style for these kind of screens on these handhelds. But yes, it had just Pac-Man. And funny thing is, at least on MyArcade's website, like their personal official website, whatever, they are still selling it, but they're calling it the Pro version. When in actuality, that's confusing because when you think about it, wouldn't you call the version that has more than one game on it the Pro version? I don't know. But yeah, the only other MyArcade Pocket players, off the top of my head, that have vertical screens are the Contra one, and I believe the Space Invaders one does as well. So yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this review. This is Sir Bop-A-Lot, signing out.